And we're rolling. Oh, shit. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast. I could not be happier to have you all here tonight. Back in the crypt. Welcome, crypt crew. This is a good one. This is a really good one. So first off, we're going to have a very special guest calling in for the first 10-20 minutes of the show. My little sister, Grace, as I call her, Goose, she will be calling in from, Montana? Something like that. One of those out west states. God damn it. Sorry, I'm obviously not recording this on the same day that I recorded that. She is in the AmeriCorps program, which is basically kind of like Peace Corps, but like in the United States, and like the United States is broken up into different regions for them, and they all have like their main hub bases in one of the states, and then people come there, they get trained, and then they get sent out to different places, maybe the same state, maybe not, anywhere in that particular region. And so she is on assignment, she's here to talk about it. This is one of the first times, so she's going to be in this program for an entire year. She just graduated high school. She's been gone a month and a half now, and she hopefully will be able to come home for Christmas, but is not out of the program or won't be home again until summer of next year. So I love every chance I get to talk to her. And I wanted her to call in for the show and give us an update on what's going on and what she's been doing, the experiences that she's had so far, and bring some awareness to AmeriCorps, and maybe some of our crypt crew can, I don't know if you can donate to this or anything, but at least bring awareness to it and let everybody know it's out there, and these good people doing good things. Crazy enough, she's actually she's pretty much following my other younger sister, but older than Grace, Katie's footsteps, who's also been on the podcast many times. Incidentally, like, ended up being assigned to the same fucking first assignment that Katie was. So that's kind of crazy to me, and I think that's pretty cool. But so yeah, in any case, without further ado, you know what? I will split this intro before the intro up a little bit, and I'll jump back in after this part. But without further ado, please, everyone, welcome my sister, Grace Bargerstock. Here she is. Hey! There we go. Sister!
Hi.
How are you?
Cold.
I have not seen you in so long.
I know.
Where are you?
So, I am currently in the basement of a church in Lakeside, Montana, which is in the Flathead Valley.
Okay. Why are you in the basement of a church?
So, it's a little bit longer of an explanation. I'm with a program right now called AmeriCorps NCCC, which is a national service program. Takes people ages 18 to 26 who apply, do 10 months of service. You get trained in different regions, and then you are sent on projects to do those regions. I was trained in the Pacific region, so about a week ago, I spent 3 weeks in Sacramento, California being trained, and then my team was given our first project, which is in Kalispell, Montana, which is where I am now. And we are working with Habitat for Humanity Flathead Valley. And our lodging here in Kalispell is in the basement of a church.
Oh.
So that's why.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's been nice. We haven't been here for long. We got to our city, like our lodging, last Friday. And then our weekend is Sunday, Monday, so we work Saturday, and then we had the last 2 days off. So it's been nice, but we haven't seen much and been able to do much so far.
So what's your project?
So our project was with Habitat for Humanity here. So we're building houses. We're doing construction work. They're currently working on 2 townhouses and 3 like full-size homes, but it's all in like one neighborhood together. So last Saturday when we were our work, my team was laying the foundation of gravel layer for a house.
Hmm. That's
And
pretty
that's what
much
we
the
did all day.
exact same shit Katie's doing right now.
Yeah. Katie, this was actually Katie's first project when she was in AmeriCorps.
Really?
This exact project. Yeah, she was in Montana working with this organization.
Holy shit! They just went barge stock. We know where to send you.
Yeah, I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
She got a kick out of it. She thought it was so
Yeah,
funny.
absolutely. No, I talked to her actually a little bit the same day I talked to you recently, and yeah, did you do anything for Halloween to celebrate Halloween?
Yeah, so you're actually gonna like this. Here in Kalispell, they have a bunch of parks. They have the national park, which is Glacier, about an hour away, but they also have just a little state park, I believe, called Lone Pine.
Okay.
And so we went there, and a park ranger there was doing a guided tour, like hike through the forest, because it was a blue moon and it was Halloween.
Hmm.
So we did hike through the forest, and he would stop and talk to us about like legends, plants in the forest, the animals that were native here, and stuff like that.
What kind of legends?
Nothing spooky. He more talked about just like some of where the names of things came from,
And
especially some of the indigenous names.
this is a state park in Montana,
I believe it's a state park. I know it's a park in Montana. I'm not sure what like level it's at.
like state or national.
I know it's not national. I'm not sure
Okay.
if it's like city or county.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, park in Montana, Bigfoot. That's
Okay,
all I'm gonna
sure.
say. That's all I'm gonna say. You are
I to,
in Sasquatch country, Grace.
Today I was in Glacier National Park, which has the highest density of grizzly bears in the lower 48.
Did you
Yeah.
see one?
No, we didn't see any bears. We were very
Oh.
disappointed. And now hopefully we'll go back again and maybe see a bear.
What did you see?
Honestly, we only saw birds today. The
Okay.
trail we were hiking was pretty well populated. On our drive to Montana, we stopped in Yellowstone and we got to spend some time there. And
That's
in Yellowstone, we actually had to stop and pull over because they had a herd of buffalo, walking down the street, the road, and then we saw elk and deer in Yellowstone as well.
wow. You saw
Yeah.
elk
Yeah, I think so. It was from a distance, so we're pretty sure, but
from it, but still, like even from a distance, were you surprised at how big it was?
I had an idea of it. I knew it was like I've seen a moose before, and I know how big those things are, so I had an
Uh-huh.
idea of it. But it's a lot bigger than a deer, so it's very impressive.
It's so like their the top of their back when they're on all fours is above my head usually.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
they're
saying?
huge.
That's
Yeah,
fucking insane. That's fucking insane. Like there's like when I learned how tall those things got, how big those things got, it blew my mind.
yeah.
Um, so what is uh coolest experience or thing you've seen so far?
Um,
Your favorite so
Honestly,
far?
the views here. So we're in the Flathead Valley. So we're in this valley that's literally just surrounded by mountain
Yeah,
ranges,
I've heard of it.
and
I've heard of it. Yeah.
it's the mountain range is like basically it's a part of the Rockies, but it doesn't really look like the rest of it. Else I'd say there's a member of my team from Denver who says it looks very different here. Um, but it's just, when we leave in the morning and we go out, we can drive down to a lake, Flathead Lake, and we sit on a dock and we can just watch like the sun rise around the mountain range, and it's just so beautiful. And
Wow.
as someone who grew up in Michigan with very flat country, we never got anything like that, so it's
Yeah.
really cool to look at.
So the scenery, the beauty of the land, nice. Um. Oh man. So what is you like laying foundation?
It was a long day. It was fine. It was really tedious work, and we were a group of
Yeah.
8,
Yeah.
probably too many people to do that one task. And we were all very excited, which isn't really the mindset you need to go in when you're doing tedious, very
Yeah.
controlled work. So we had to
Right.
redo things throughout the day. But
That's how you learn. That's how you learn.
yeah, it really is, and it is very it's like people will say it's very hands-on. It just is hands-on. We're the
Yeah.
ones doing the work.
Yeah.
I will say everyone we've met, our sponsor here, the worksite supervisor, they are all so welcoming and so nice and appreciative because they need people. They lost a huge stream of volunteers because of COVID-19, and they are like months behind in their development because of it. And so they are just happy that we're here because they need the hours.
So I know because of COVID-19, you were like in quarantine for a while when you first arrived and stuff like that. Uh, so far, have you like what's like have you had the opportunity to like try any like new crazy food or like California tacos or?
Yeah, so when we were in Sacramento, we were there for 3 weeks of training, and for basically two and almost a half of those weeks we were in quarantine. It didn't mean like we couldn't leave our rooms, but it meant there was distance between everyone. It meant you were wearing a mask all the time when you were out of your room. It meant constantly hand sanitizing, and it meant that we got COVID tested regularly amazingly, and I really don't know how we pulled this off, but we had 250 people come to campus, and after 2 rounds of complete testing and I think a few one-offs just to make sure, we had no positive cases. We were all clean, and
Wow.
so that was really cool. While in Sacramento, we went out a few times. There was one night we went to downtown Sac after we were cleared, and even then, you have to be so careful. You have to stay away from
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to do much except walk around, but it was a cool to like walk around at night. We were in there like the old part of the city, so we got to see it was kind of jazzy in the architecture and stuff. And then there was one day we went to Lake Tahoe, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, of course.
Um, and so we got to hike around there for a little bit.
Hmm.
Beyond that, food-wise, we haven't. I got to try In-N-Out. It was okay. It wasn't very good, but it was fine. Very California thing to try. The other thing I had that wasn't. It was like just my team and I decided to walk to an ice cream place when we were in training after we got cleared, and I had a mango nata for the first time.
What is that?
I don't. It's. I think it's Mexican in origin, but don't quote me on that. And it's basically like a mango slushy,
Oh,
but it's
cool.
got mango in it, and it's got like cut up mango on it, and then it's covered in tahini, and it's got like tahini in it. And
Nice.
so it was really tasty. I thought it was delicious. But
Nice.
yeah,
Well, up to give you an update from home, we are now averaging 3,000 COVID cases a day plus.
yeah.
And if you go out to eat at a restaurant, you have to give them your name and phone number for COVID tracing. And
Well, I mean, you guys at least, so part of the AmeriCorps kind of quarantine protocol, or COVID protocol, I should say, we can't go and eat in restaurants. That's something that our organization has declared. We can get takeout, we can bring it
right,
back,
right,
but we can't go. We
right.
can't spend longer than 15 minutes in a shop,
Okay.
because they don't want us, and
Yeah,
we can't interact with anyone basically outside our
yeah,
team.
yeah.
So I understand the struggle.
Yeah, it's getting bad. But everybody, as far as I know, everybody in the family is okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
And MSU U of M, so what is their complaint about?
uh, I mean, who cares? Like, I don't give a fuck. They shouldn't even fucking be playing football right now anyway. So,
Yeah, they shouldn't.
uh, but yeah, no. But I mean, Thanksgiving's canceled.
I heard about that. I was surprised.
Yeah,
That's a
yep.
big deal.
This,
But you
I
act
mean,
like it's not canceled for you. Grandma's still gonna make you the full dinner.
no. Yeah, of course. But since I
The
was a kid,
family. Yeah.
since I was a kid, it was always about hanging out with Preston and all the aunts and uncles on Thanksgiving, and this is the first time in my entire life that's not going to happen. So,
I see. I like to think it's because I'm not there, but
God damn it,
I'll be
Grace.
I'll be home for Christmas. So if Christmas is
Is
still
that for
fun.
sure? Well, you'll be here no matter what. So for us, it will be.
So, well, that's the thing is that so I don't know if I've talked to you about this. I'm planning to come home for Christmas. However, when you are a service member of AmeriCorps, when you're in AmeriCorps,
Yeah, it's not guaranteed, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're on call for disaster relief.
Right. And
So if something hits, we have to go.
like
And
a
I
civil
know
war.
well, we're not combat trained, so I don't know how much use would be there. But my team and I keep joking this would be the year something would hit.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Like it is civil war in 2
yeah.
days. In the next 2
You know,
days.
it's been weird because the election's tomorrow, but
Yeah. Let's make it known
I
because I'm not gonna put this in until an episode for
yeah.
like a week from now. So let's make
Oh
it
yeah,
known.
you guys will already know
We're
it.
having this conversation before we know the results of the election right now.
Yeah,
The
it's
election is
the night
tomorrow.
before.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it's weird. We don't have cable TV here, and like we work all day, and we have Wi-Fi. Like that's how I'm calling
You have
you.
internet?
But yeah, we have internet. But I like, and some of my teammates have laptops, but it's like I get news here when I look at it. It's not like pervasive, and we can't go anywhere, so
It's
it's
not
not like people are talking about it.
right, so it's not as invasive.
Yeah.
Right.
So like in my mind, I absentee voted a long time ago, so I
So did I.
already counted.
So like
But in my mind, I know that the election's tomorrow, but I've just been busy. Like we've been working and traveling so much, I haven't been thinking about it.
yeah, you've been
And
going
so
nuts.
I've been like,
That
oh
feels
shit,
pretty
it's
fucking
tomorrow.
Yeah, that feels pretty fucking good, doesn't it, Grace? God damn it.
It really
Because
does.
I'm just
I don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't for this.
It's like
funny
it's
too
like
because
go ahead.
I'm like in Trump country,
Really?
I'm in rural
I mean, I don't
Montana,
know.
AJ.
I've never been there. I don't know what it's like.
I'm in rural Montana. It's definitely red country. They could prove me wrong, but I've seen the signs even when we've been driving around town and stuff. So.
I mean, that's the funny thing is I drive through my neighborhood, I see like the same amount of Trump signs as I see Biden signs, and then I go to mom and dad's neighborhood and I only see Biden signs.
Yeah. I mean, before I left Katie
Which
and
is like a few blocks away. Let's make that clear.
Before I left, Katie and I drove to Holland, and that drive, I saw so many Trump signs because if you drive to rural Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see.
But I will say something I've noticed. I've seen a lot of Trump signs here, not as many as expecting, but a lot. But I don't see any Biden signs. I see more, and I see more signs in general for local and state elections here.
Well, that's encouraging.
Than for presidential. So
that
I
means
don't know.
that means people are taking part in the politics that actually affect them much more. So that's encouraging.
I do think it's kind of interesting and entertaining when your YouTube ads start giving you political attack ads from states that you're not from. So I've seen so many Montana political attack ads, and I don't know who any of these people are. And so they're just like, fuck JB, and I'm like, hell yeah, and I'm like, I don't know who he is. So
oh god! Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not from here. I don't know who you people are.
Yeah.
But I mean, you said you only had 10 minutes. You gotta go?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah, it's like people are gonna go to sleep soon, so I don't want to be talking.
Okay, no. We can, no. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to ask you. I can't think of anything right now. But I will say, while you're out there, or anywhere you go, keep an eye out for, keep an ear out or something. Maybe look up some local legends or something in the area you're from. Like, tell me, next time we talk, like if you end up anywhere haunted, like I can say right now, if you're bored, if you're ever, which I'm sure you're not because you sound busy constantly, but if you ever like have some time and want to look up something spooky, look up the missing 411 cases because you were just in Yellowstone National Park and more people go missing there than anybody knows. So
I don't want to get scared.
Why not? It's fun.
Ugh. Okay. I'm living in a church basement.
That shit's so haunted, Grace. Oh my god.
I know. It's actually very nice.
Fuck.
It's like a very nice area, like living area. But
nice. All right. Well, I'm glad. That's good.
There's a spookiness prevailing. We were walking through the woods today, and it got dark. Yeah. Our first night here was Halloween, so who knows what that means.
This is Halloween. All right. Well, I'm glad you're doing good. Thank you so much for calling. I'm glad. I'm really happy to talk to you and hear from you. And what's the rest of your week look like? What are you doing this week?
So tomorrow is the first day of work because our work week is Tuesday, Saturday. So we get to work tomorrow and
Okay.
just work is on the schedule. We don't really
Just
have anything else planned
just
right now.
building stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, working on the foundation more probably. But it's just one day at a time. You take what you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's supposed to drop down in temperature here this coming week, so that'll be fun. It's gonna get colder.
What's the temperature right now?
So right now here it's about the same temp as it is in Michigan.
Well, we're about to hit like 60s and 70s this week.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not that warm yet. But it's been like 40s.
Okay. Okay.
But next week, so like when we get to work, it's normally like mid 30s, and then by like 3 p.m., it's like 40s.
Jesus.
Um,
Stay
but
warm.
next week, it's supposed to drop, I think, into the 20s and
Oh my.
possibly the teens, like in the morning.
Oh my
So
God.
it's definitely gonna be. Yeah, half my team is from like the south, so it's
They're not used
interesting.
to this shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you're from Michigan, when the first cold hits, we all act like babies,
I'm so
We're all
angry.
like, oh my God,
No, I just get angry.
Yeah, I know you do, but it's gonna be a transition. The people we're working with are really awesome, though. They're like, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for you. We have other stuff you can do, like indoors or somewhere warmer.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
yeah, it's gonna be a transition, so
For sure.
I'm
All
excited.
right. Well, keep me updated. Keep texting me, and you know, I'll we'll next time you're available, we'll do this again. All right.
Okay,
I need to see your face more often. So
I will. You'll
make
see
sure
it
you're all right.
soon, so
All right. Yeah. Goddamn right. Good. Uh, love you. Mwah.
I love you too.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, and I will talk to you again soon. All right. You have a great night, sis.
You too. Bye,
Love
bitch.
you. Bye. Bye, Goose. I'm sorry. I just love it when my sisters are on the show. It means a lot to me. And because they're both doing such amazing fucking things with their fucking lives. Right now, Katie's down in the fucking Bahamas rebuilding after the hurricane. Uh, and I'm sitting here in a basement talking into a microphone and a camera. I'm just really, really proud of them. And I love it when they come on. I love every chance I get to talk to them because they're gone in other parts of the world doing crazy shit so often that, yeah, it really means a lot to me. And sometime soon, I'm going to fucking pester Katie enough to get her to call in on an episode and give us an update on what's been going on down in the fucking Bahamas. So, Katie, if you're seeing this, I'm coming for you. It's happening. But in any case, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this fucking episode. So this is a big one. This episode is a very special guest, one of my best friends, and roommate, my buddy Josh. And when Josh and I first met, literally the first time I ever met him in my life, we instantly connected over something in the paranormal realm. I walk in and he's watching a show called Destination Truth on the Discovery Travel Channel, one of those shows at the time, one of those channels at the time, hosted by Josh Gates, who now hosts Exploration Unknown, I think. Expedition Unknown, and yeah, like, and it was an episode where they were looking for Bigfoot, and I sit down and watch. I'm like, wait, you guys are into this? And I'm like, I'm super into this. And first time we ever met in our fucking lives, instantly connected over topics of the paranormal. And since then, and throughout the last, Jesus, I don't even know how long it's been, 12, 13 years of our friendship now. We've really gone deep into that realm together. We research a lot, we explore a lot, we look for opportunities. to do investigations as often as we can. Longtime listeners of this podcast know this is something that we do. We actually pay money to get locked in to some of the locations you've seen on various paranormal TV shows, or not, just various locations around Michigan mostly, and not that many paranormal shows have come here. And we just go, we do our own investigations and see what we can find. So this episode is about our most recent investigation. This episode is about our investigation at the Stimson Hospital in Eaton Rapids, which we did on Devil's Night. That was one of the most one of the happiest parts for me. The idea of actually getting to get locked into a haunted location on Devil's Night made me so excited. And with the COVID, with the this and the that's and all that shit, we have been like between him and my grandmother, who lives with my parents, who I like to visit on a regular basis. I'm around a lot of people at high risk on a regular basis. And so as a result of that, for the last 8 months, we've been fucking locked down hard. Harder than even my own grandmother. So then this event came across. It was limited to 10 people. We knew at one point, we knew it would be like a 2-hour tour and then free roam. We can separate and go off and do whatever we want away from everybody. And then once we got there, there were only even 7 people there total, including our group of 3. So we felt pretty safe. This was the first event. We haven't been to a bar. We haven't been to a restaurant. We ain't been fucking nowhere. We've barely even had fast food for the last 8 fucking months. But we felt confident and safe about this event. And it turned out fine. I'm sitting here recording this now a little bit more than a week later, and we're good. So I think everything's good. We wore masks, you know what I mean? We did the whole thing to be safe, and I think it turned out really well. And it was just really awesome to get out and actually do an event. The last time Josh was on this podcast actually was very early this year, right before pandemic and right before we went on video. Josh and I actually recorded a fucking episode of the podcast in a haunted house. We were investigating a private residence, and we recorded a podcast in a haunted house. So definitely go back and check that one out. But this episode that you're going to see right now was recorded on Halloween night, the night after we investigated the Stimson Hospital. Now, you'll hear me say in the episode that I'm going to try to sprinkle in any evidence that I end up finding once I go through our evidence. I have gone through 99% of our evidence. There's nothing insanely crazy, but there are things in there that I definitely want to share with you guys. The issue is I haven't totally figured out the technology yet, because this laptop, the laptop I know how to do all the editing on, does not have any SD card slots. So, oh shit, I could probably just put the SD card into the camera and plug the camera into the computer. Fuck! Okay. Damn it, I wish I had thought of that earlier. All right. Well, see, you're seeing it live. This is what happens. We do everything behind the scenes. We don't have a producer. We are the producers, people. So, but in any case, I am going to start an LITD clips channel, like page on our channel or whatever. It will include Sassman. It will include interviews with Eddie, and it will include the paranormal footage that we captured that I'd like to share with everybody. I'm going to work on getting that put together within the next week or two. I'm going to try really hard to get that done and get that out. So it won't be, you'll hear me reference it in the episode. It won't be in the episode, and I'm sorry for that, but keep an eye out in the next couple weeks for a new like clip page on our channel, and look for it on there. All right. So yeah, because I was going through some of it earlier tonight, and there's definitely a few clips that I'd like to share with everybody just to hear their opinion. And for the record, again, anybody who has any paranormal experiences of their own or stories or anything like that at all, or you know what? Here's another thing. Should I just post clips or should I just post all the fucking footage I have raw? Like, let me know what you think in the comments, because maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something that you spot. If you watch it and you want it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, we're still trying to figure out how to do this. We're still trying to figure out how to put everything together. But we're just happy that anybody that is watching this right now is along on the ride with us. You fucking rule. So without further ado, let me end this fucking intro before the intro, I guess. Yeah, without further ado, everyone, please welcome Josh, my brother, back to the crypt to talk about our experience at the Stimson Hospital in Eaton Rapids, Michigan. Rah! Boom, and we're off. What's going on, everyone? We are back, Josh and I, in the crypt tonight to talk. It's Halloween. It's Halloween for us right now. It is Halloween night right now. We record every year on Halloween. We got the candy. We got everything to celebrate. You guys won't be seeing this for another week because I potentially have some work to do on this episode before it comes out. Because what we're talking about tonight, it is an event that we went on last night, Devil's Night 2020. We got locked in the Stimson Hospital down in Eaton Rapids last night for a paranormal investigation. And it was like us two, one of our friends, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people total. And 2 of those people were the tour guides, the managers, the people the owners. Yeah, they were the owners. Shout out to the owners, Chris and Pam Chris and Pam Sturgill, for putting it on. Stimson Hospital Historic Tours. Check it out on Facebook. They actually are very active on Facebook, and they always post their events there. So huge shout out to them if you ever want to investigate this place. But for anybody that hasn't heard of it, here's just a quick little history lesson on what has gone down at the Stimson Hospital. This structure was built in 1870 as a private home. Years later, it was acquired by a dentist, Dr. William Cladis Puffenberger. Sometime around 1917, Puffenberger sold the house to Harriet Chapman, who, along with co-owners Charles Stimson and Francis R. Blanchard, both doctors, turned it into a hospital in 1918. Only a few months after the hospital opened, Dr. Blanchard stepped into an open elevator door and fell down to his death in the shaft. A few years later, on August 17, 1922, Dr. Puffenberger committed suicide at the age of 45 by shooting himself. And in 1938, ownership belonged to Dr. and Mrs. Stimson and Bernice Bowman, and was now named Stimson Community Hospital. Dr. Stimson passed away in 1943. The hospital closed for good in 1957. And then it kind of took on a couple different life forms after that. It was a couple different things in between then, but then I believe in 2016 or 17, Chris and Pam purchased it and started renovations to make it a bed and breakfast. And so that's where we're at the moment. Of course, lots of apparitions, strange noises have been heard in this place. It's put together like a labyrinth. Like you said last night, it's hard to imagine it having ever been a hospital.
Extremely. Like, I don't... In its current state, it was hard to see it even as a house, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 150 years old. How often do we see stuff like we saw in that last night?
And especially in terms of the outside architecture, yeah, you don't see that shit anywhere anymore.
Right.
Like, that was insane.
The whole time we were walking through it, it made me feel like we were in like the Turner Dodge mansion. Like, that's how old that house is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like total fun house, like labyrinth style. It felt like the floors were crooked and just.
What was? There was another place where we were at that was kind of like that. I can't remember which one though. But like I remember walking in and being like, "This place is just like room after." That's the thing is like when you. This is what I said last night. Is I feel hard pressed to call this a hospital, because there's no, when you think hospital, you think long hallways with a whole bunch of rooms. There's none of that here, because this is a hospital that was closed in 57, opened in 18.
Yeah, this is a hospital 100 years ago.
Exactly. So it's more like a house, just a giant ass house, but once was used as a hospital. And they even showed us in the basement where they had the bathroom showers, the cafeteria. That was a tiny ass. How many people worked there? You know what I mean? There's a tiny ass cafeteria, a room for a cafeteria at least. But yeah. So yeah, we fucking first time ever that we've done an investigation on Devil's Night. So that alone is pretty fucking cool to me, honestly. The aesthetic of that. The fact that we had it up, pretty, there was only a few other people there. We could do, go investigate anything we wanted.
You could be alone.
Yeah, you could be alone if you wanted to. They had some haunted dolls. Did you have any experiences with the haunted dolls? No?
No.
I really didn't either, honestly. There's one in particular that was 100 years old and had human hair.
So it was over 100 years old.
Might have been.
Adia.
Adia. She's an Indian princess, I think. Cool doll. Definitely cool. And so the idea is, with a lot, that's interesting, actually. With a lot of fucking dolls, there's a ritual. There's you can come hang out with me, but you need my permission to take my picture, or you need to leave a trinket for me, or I'm going to haunt you.
Yeah.
It seems like that's common with that kind of a thing. I'd never thought about that. But so they had the haunted dolls. There was more than one, actually. The front part of the building, the actual museum section with all the stuff in the cabinets and everything, that shit was wild. So these people are collectors of what? Old medical
oddity stuff.
Oddities? Yeah.
Not even oddity, just
equipment.
All common practice equipment back in the day. So
all shit that people have used.
Yeah.
He even kept saying, "Yep, this was used."
Some of this stuff's still even used. You know what I mean? So
probably.
So I mean, it was definitely a cool little site to check out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had. What I saw is just a couple of experiences there. You know what I mean?
What did you experience last night?
I don't know. I thought at one point I heard a disembodied voice.
Okay.
Just with my ears.
Okay.
Nobody else heard it in the morgue. But
okay.
The voice didn't come from the morgue. We were in the morgue, and it came from a different part of the basement.
By where the elevator shaft was, or even farther?
That'd be tough to judge,
okay.
But in that direction.
Okay.
I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did it sound like a woman's voice, kind of, and it didn't. Just sounded like it was saying something. It was so hard to hear though, because they were constantly using the ghost box.
Oh, it's when we were doing the spirit box. Okay.
So with that going, I'm trying to pay attention to other things around, and it's I don't know. I'm not a fan of the spirit box, man.
Yeah, I don't like them that much either. I don't like the.
Well, like that, and I get so lost in that when a word does blurt out of it, I mean, if it ain't clear, I'm not really catching them.
I'm not catching it, and I'm sacrificing my ability to hear footsteps or disembodied voices.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I will say is that's something we've talked about because we watch a lot of the shows together. We watch a lot of other people's investigations together. And yeah, that's something we both agree on. The spirit box is, after last night, after the experiences we had last night, I do think that they work. I don't even know what the fuck a ghost is, but I do think that something is manipulating that thing to let words come through somehow that are in direct response to questions you're asking. Because there would be times when that thing was chattery as hell, and then we go back to the exact same place later and dead silence. Nothing.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I feel like we've come far enough. We got to have something that can do the same thing without all the white noise.
And shout out to some of my favorite YouTubers going right now, CJ Fajan and Jasco, Jas and Co. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I just call him Jazz. but they are the ones watching their YouTube channels are the ones that introduced me to this app called Necrophonic, which is basically a spirit box, but it doesn't do the shit.
Seemed to work.
I have some major reservations about it just being an app, of course, but man, like I need to use it a bunch more to really get into it, but it really did there were points in time where it was like, we were getting up or like about to like go up the stairs to leave, and it said, wait, don't go, come here. I said, where do you want me to go? So I just turned around and started walking back towards kind of like through that one room into the elevator shaft. When I got in that first room, it said, help. I kept going. I said, help who? Where are you? They're like, here, over here. And then it led me to the morgue. And then like every time I walked by that like baby carriage thing, like a child's voice kept coming through. Like every time. And then later I went back and nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like, I don't know. But also,
it was like that though most of the night with anything we were using.
All the equipment, which is where we had most of our experiences, I feel. And the other thing too is out of all the fucking videos I've ever watched of other people using the Necrophonic app, I've never heard it say, fuck you, get the fuck out, and shut the fuck up so many times. And I even heard there was like that would often be like a man's voice, and then I would hear a woman's voice come in and say, no, leave him alone.
Right.
And stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck? And earlier in the night, we weren't there, but Jeremy, our friend, was in the boiler room with two of the other people that were there, and he said they were picking up a conversation between a male and a female spirit as well on the spirit box. Mm-hmm. So that's the basement. It's right other side of the wall. So I don't know. We had some pretty interesting experiences. I got all of it on camera, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this episode yet, but over the next week, I'm going to go through as much of the shit as I can, and if we get anything, I'll put it in this episode and release it on its own, so people don't have to watch the whole episode to see it. But yeah, man, like that was really interesting to me. But the one that really got me were the experiences we were having with our EMF detectors, because
I want to do more though with that, like
a lot.
Like,
don't be afraid to eat the microphone a little bit.
Well, I want to see like if I want to see if that transient theory, like maybe there's just spirits constantly all around, coming and going all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I take a 4-hour window here at the house with an EMF detector, and I get the same type of hits like as what I would get at the Stimson, and then maybe do the same thing at my parents' house, you do the same thing at your parents' house, and if we get a pattern, you know what I mean, or we do that here for 4 hours, your parents' house, my parents' house, and we get 0 EMF hits, then that really kind of gives a little more concrete to it, at least for me.
Me too.
Because, man, like, as much as we did mess around here at the house with all the EMF detectors,
yeah, just testing them, making sure they work.
Never once did they go off around the house at all.
Not where they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it was like...
Not for no reason. Only behind their fucking fridge.
So then when you get weird fluctuations in the EMF and you're watching that happen, like, it's got to be something.
There's something affecting it.
It's got to be something. I don't know what the something is.
Yeah.
But man, there's got to be something. There's something, definitely. Especially
when you're asking it yes or no questions and it's responding. You know what I mean? Like when we were all in the boiler room for the second time together with actual equipment, and I just set the EMF meters down and they just started lighting up, and they were lighting up in response to questions we were asking. Once we hit a name, there was a name that came through on like a spirit box. Gordon. And once the tour guide told us, Chris, right?
Yep.
Chris told us
one of the maintenance men before.
That was his name. that worked down in there. And so there's actual something historical to back that up. And it's interesting.
Like, all of it's interesting, but like, I can't call it a response yet. The EMF was definitely picking up a read. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Two of them next to each other.
Right. Was that a response? I mean, it could be. Absolutely.
It did feel like it.
Definitely.
Gave me goosebumps.
You know what I mean? But it's also, we got to find something that, it's got to be able to do something.
Let's get
more tangible.
Yeah, let's set the voice recorder down next to the EMFs, and if we get a voice at the same time,
that's what I kept trying to do all night.
As it going off, then we're talking like that.
All night, I'd find a room, sit down by myself while I was quiet, and then do a little EMF or put on the EMF, and then do a EVP session, and then play it back and listen. I didn't pick up anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I haven't gone through any of my stuff yet, so we'll be doing that over the next week, and hopefully fucking find something, man, because that would be awesome. Because there were definitely moments where, like when it was you, me, and Jeremy in the boiler room, and I was like just sitting in the doorway, and there was a moment where like my entire back went ice cold underneath my shirt, hoodie, and vest. Like my entire back went ice cold, and I got like not shivers, but like tingly as fuck. Yeah. Like really, not in a bad way or nothing, but really tingly, like electricity.
Well, it was just that one time when we got that real big temperature drop.
That too.
Around you.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Like, I don't know. I think it was like a 6 to 10 degree swing or something like that.
Yeah, it was like around 6 or 7, I think.
Because it was like 71 in the room.
Yeah.
But then it was like 64 around you.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So that was kind of a worth looking at kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I never heard no footsteps.
Well, I think we did once actually when we were the three of us were in that room. I heard footsteps right above us, and the tour guide told me that right above the boiler room is the
museum.
Yeah, the museum. Right, you were there. So there was nobody that was stomping around in the museum last night. And at the same time, as I was hearing those, I thought I heard footsteps coming down into the basement, and no one was. And when you and I when everybody first dispersed, when it was free roam time, fucking, you and I were standing in like the area with the sandwiches, and we both heard a loud ass bang, and I started walking towards it, and right when I got past the slightly cracked open bathroom door, I heard two, like, not knocks, but it was like two metal rods hitting each other or something, like from inside the bathroom, and then you went right into the bathroom and nothing. So I did hear a couple bangs, a couple footsteps, for sure, that I couldn't explain.
Like, I can't even explain how calm it felt there.
Really?
Like I could have went to sleep in any one of those rooms alone at any point in the night.
Well, that is.
What's weird is like, even something that should have been creepy wouldn't even have felt that creepy. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I would have heard footsteps, I don't think it would have like.
Scared you?
Yeah. I would have went and wanted to investigate and wanted to see something or hear something more, but like, no point at all in the house did I ever feel uncomfortable.
No,
like, it
never.
was awesome. It was great. I mean,
that's a point that Chris and Pam made, was that it's not nobody's ever felt anything malevolent, and as a matter of fact, so the doll that you're supposed to leave like a tincture for or whatever, or just some kind of present for, there was one.
Leave us some tincture.
There was one person that came in and like taunted the fuck out of it, was super mean to it. Like apparently came from a wealthy family or something and just left it a nickel. And it like, I think Chris said that it happened after he left, but it was like he got like a scratch and like a bite on his cheek.
Something like that.
But then he told us later on that the guy that happened to still brags about it like it's a cool thing. Like he was like, yeah, it fucking bit me, man. It's crazy. That thing's real. Like he's not scared of it. But, like even after having that experience, which that's the first time I've ever heard anybody say that.
Probably.
You know, if you get scratched or bit by a ghost, people are like, I'm never going there again. This guy's like, no, it's fine.
Right.
So maybe it's just him, or maybe it's like it happened, but he never felt any negative energy that other people might feel from their things. I don't know.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, that was weird to me. It stuck out.
One and two, like if that happened, I'd probably be booking a spot there almost every month just to fucking see if it happened again, you know?
Go and check back.
Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even with what we had happen over I'm still gonna go back. Like,
yeah. No, yeah. And that's the thing. It's interesting you say how calm you felt, because I've said many times on here that's how I always felt at Randolph, despite the fact that we were in an abandoned insane asylum during a thunderstorm, playing with a Ouija board at 3:00 in the morning, and nothing happened, and I felt calm the entire time. You know, but that one, I'll say the difference for me, and I think everybody should check out all these locations we go to, whether we have experiences there or not. But because if nothing else, they're just cool as fuck to walk around in. But the thing about Randolph for me was it actually got to the point where I was like, I not only felt nothing happening, I felt like nothing was going to happen, and I got bored. Whereas at the Stimson, I never got bored. I always felt like something could be right around the next corner. You know what I'm saying? And that was a bit more exciting to me, which does make me go, oh, and like Chris and Pam even said, like, we're here all the fucking time working, like renovating, getting things done. These things are used to us. They're probably going to be around when we're around more. And they even expressed concern about, like, they're like, we'll give you, you know, we want to go take you guys on the tour and everything and show you around, but after that, we're just going to leave you alone because we don't want to influence anything that's going on. Even though, arguably, when they were walking around with us, we had some of the most experiences, you know what I mean? But, so I get that, and that's interesting to me. But it does, all of that combined, it makes me, really want to, it makes me feel like if we go back again, we might get even more. You know,
well,
what I mean?
It makes me feel like too, though. It's one of those kind of places where you got to be there for a day or two or three. Like you really got to kind of soak it in when you know what I mean. Like it's, I don't know. I could see living somewhere like that. Like when they said they had like the apartments that they rented and stuff. I was, man, like
this ain't that far.
If there's a different time right now, I would definitely be looking at that. Yeah. Why didn't I ever see the ad? Like,
right.
1,600 square foot apartment for rent.
Damn. Yeah.
Haunted. Come on.
Sign me up. Sign me up. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous building. And I'm really glad they are two people that really seem to care about getting it back to its original, like, state of beauty. You know what I mean? And I think that's really cool. I respect that a lot. And I'm excited to see it when it's done. You know, I think it's going to look really, really, especially they even like were breaking down plans, telling us, oh, we're taking out this wall. We're going to have this all open. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's going to look sick, you know, like.
I hope they figure out like a way to open up that attic space they were talking about.
Yeah, because they said it was very active up there, and we didn't get to go up there.
No, like because like I guess there was like a gap and like a spot you had to jump to like get across.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's a little dangerous, I guess, but like,
I could see why they don't want to risk it.
Oh yeah, but like he said, like the tile floors up there are untouched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're just a little dusty.
Yeah.
But untouched for the last 60 years. And you got to understand, these tile floors, the tiles were this big?
Yeah, like maybe inch and a half square.
Yeah. And he said over 500,000 of them in the house, each one placed by fucking hand.
Yep.
Man, and I almost wish, maybe I'll have to get Jeremy to call in and I'll edit it in or something, because I just want to hear him go off about the night.
Think about that. Back then, there was probably a guy who owned a business that did that.
Yep.
And he either worked by himself or with his son, or maybe another person.
Especially, probably family, but yeah.
And picking up a job like a house or a hospital like that needed the whole entire thing done.
That would have been in between 18.
Well, like,
that would have been before 1918, because that's before it opened.
1917.
Yeah.
Who knows when those tiles were, if they were from the original 1870s.
Oh yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
That probably provided that guy right there with income for at least 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so
it probably took longer than 6 months to do all that, because there were a lot more throughout the building. You know?
But I mean,
but this was one of the first. They said this was one of the first hospitals as an all white tile floor, white walls. Yep. Everything needs to be clean and sanitary. They won't operate on you unless you took a shower.
No, they wouldn't deliver a baby.
Baby, yeah, that's right.
A woman showed up; she had to take a shower immediately.
Yeah.
Before they deliver the baby.
They had to. This was one of the first places to implement hand washing for surgeons, because they just noticed, less people die. We don't know why, but they do. So that's pretty fascinating to me. That's one of those first ones that gives you all an idea of how far
we've come in so short of a time.
How fucked we all were 100 years ago.
100 years ago, man, people didn't know they had to wash their hands.
To cut you open
and
remove things.
We're going to open you up and do surgery on you. And then I'm going to go open up that guy that you see sitting in that chair right after you.
Yeah. And I don't have gloves or a sink.
And then I'm going to go home and eat dinner. I'll probably take a shower in a week. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, God.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Jesus.
And I get it. So that's one extreme end of the spectrum. Then there's another end of that spectrum, and I feel like there's a balance between the two. We might have went past that balance into the other extreme. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like over cleanliness? What do you mean?
In a sense, I guess in a sense of not overcompensation,
like over reliance on technology, maybe. In certain ways.
No, I mean now that's just different. This is something
medical technology.
This is something else. No, I mean, God, how can I? What's the word I'm looking for here? I can't think of the word for it. But you can understand. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Over the top with it. Sometimes.
A little.
Sometimes.
A little over the top.
That was interesting when he said, because there was another place I'd recently learned, I can't remember where, but another place in Michigan that it was the same. Maybe it was that one. Maybe it was the shout out to So Dead podcast, Jen Carpenter, author of Haunted Lansing. Maybe it was on the podcast that she did on Stimson where she talked about that same thing. Actually, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, that's another good episode on this to check out for sure. She really gets deep into the history, and she's had a pretty interesting experiences there. So check that out for sure. But so we get there, and we kind of we do the tours. We have some interesting EMFs and everything go off when we're doing the guided investigation, and then we disperse. We hear a couple weird noises. Then you and I go into Stimson's office where he died from a heart attack. And I never really felt that room was very active last night. I never got anything in there.
I did.
What did you get? Oh, you
just that one EMF. That
talk about that. That was crazy.
Well, like,
because I've never even seen this on a ghost show.
I don't know. Everybody just split up, so I went into that room and just kind of sat down for a minute, kind of making out a plan in my head of what I wanted to do that night, you know, throughout the place. But I didn't have no EVP or anything out. I just took and had an EMF detector and I held it out in front of me.
2 meter, yeah.
Just kind of started talking like I was talking to somebody, and it lit up like the second light wanted to light up, and then it just like slowly illuminated till it was fully lit, and it stayed just at the second light. And it stayed like if I moved the EMF detector to the left or right or up or down or any direction other than where I was holding it, there was no reading at all. So I had to hold it right in that spot, but it stayed right there for like, I don't know, at least a good minute, 60 seconds solid. And like the hairs on the back of my neck for that whole minute were just raised. It was like, I don't know, that was the most I felt that entire night. And then it faded and everything went back to normal for the rest of the evening.
I've never witnessed any kind of K2 reading like that, like where it's just the one, only in that spot for that much of an extended, like all the rest of the night, it was just spikes.
Yep.
It would just be big spikes, and then it would go away. To have it hold in a spot where at that point in the night, we'd already been through 2 to 3 times and got nothing. For you to sit there and get something like that, that's really interesting to me. To have it hold and you actually feel it to the point where you get, and like, because like you said last night, it's like it only lit up on one. I don't know why I would have been getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
Unless something was literally electric around you and causing it.
Yeah. So that was probably the best one, because like you said, all the other ones were just fleeting. So for something that actually like came and held, and then left, like, and like I said, and like the same EMF detector, I walk around the entire house here, you know what I mean? And yeah, like you said, we pick up at the back of the fridge.
Yep.
But other than that, like my computer gives off of EMF. But I mean, like, other than that, like, there's nothing at all.
And one thing I do want to say that we discovered last night while doing the investigation, I found out the fucking iPhone gives off a signal if you hold it right next to it. So do not put it anywhere near your fucking pocket or have your phone out next to it or anything, because that will set it off. That I didn't know that. I was under the impression that phones didn't set those off.
Right.
I don't know why. I just was, and I was like, wow, okay, well, we need to fucking make sure we're on that, like, not getting any misreadings. I had no idea.
This weird rash on my right thigh where I carry my phone in my pocket now.
For real, like, what the fuck?
The new 5G is doing its job.
What's weird though, it would be quiet but then I would open an app and it would go off. I don't know what that is. It's like, what the fuck is that?
The app.
Something causing
programming you.
Yeah. And I'm just talking, the app I was trying to open was Facebook Messenger. It wasn't even like Phantasmophobia.
It's the scariest app of all though, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so watch out for that.
Facebook Messenger be listening to everything.
Huh?
Facebook Messenger listens
to
listens and reads all your messages.
Well, what pisses me off?
All of it.
Oh, just your messages?
No. Like when you do that whole like agreement thing that every app on the planet does, you know, you're giving them access to like your mic and everything, man.
If they're gonna listen to fucking me all the time, the least they could do is subscribe to the fucking podcast. For Christ's sake, like, come on! I'm sitting here giving it all to you for free. Jesus Christ! But it was a pretty wild night, man. It was. I had a lot of fun, and actually, we're kind of wrong. Now that I think about it, we actually did do another investigation this year pre-pandemic in January. Remember?
Yep.
my buddy's house
Yep.
that he was renting. Now that's a place that I do still have a couple videos and EVP recordings to go through, but I have gone through a chunk of a good amount of the videos, and I did find a light anomaly that I not only can't explain, but when I went back and asked Ben about it, because I thought the way the camera was and everything, I thought it could have been a light coming in through a window. Ben goes, "There's no fucking window there, bro." So it's some kind of light anomaly. I do have something in there. Maybe I'll throw that in here too, and go through the rest of that evidence. But that place, that's another one, man. Didn't really. That one was kind of a labyrinth too. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of because it was laid out. It's not.
Wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't big, but it was laid out in a weird way because it had that weird addition that we couldn't get into.
Yeah, you could definitely. It was definitely an old house.
Old like farmhouse kind of.
Like no, it's just an old house.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go as far like as an old farmhouse.
What's out there on a dirt road?
Oh yeah, I get it. Like I had family that had they still have the house, but that's an old farmhouse.
Your family's?
Yeah,
they still have it?
Yeah, like it's out in Lanesburg. I don't know. This is definitely like a Victorian era style house, like huge. I want to say it's like 8 bedrooms, like 5 baths.
Jesus Christ.
Had like a huge tundra on the front that had ceilings that were as high as the top floor ceiling. So it was like almost like a ballroom with big, huge double doors that swung open into almost like a den.
Oh, wow.
And then a kitchen off of the den and pantry and such, you know what I'm saying? And it almost felt like it had maybe even like, I would call it servant quarters. You know what I'm saying?
People, workers?
Well, yeah. Well, no, like a house servant. Like
Right.
You know, like a maid
Caretaker.
or a butler. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it had like a main room off of the den downstairs was a bedroom that had like a full bathroom off the side of that even. So
okay, like
somebody would live down there.
Okay.
And then all the other bedrooms were upstairs and they were huge. It was crazy, but like yeah, growing up with
you said your aunt and uncle?
Great aunt and uncle.
Which side?
Mom's side. But yeah, that
wow.
It's still there. One of these times, man, we'll fucking take a cruise and I'll check it out. But,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That's not, then do they still live in it?
I think some of her kids have it now.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But like I said too, like it's huge. It used to be on something like 120 acres. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Back when it wasn't uncommon to own a bunch of land.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these are places, yeah, like Lanesburg, Eaton Rapids, the places that we're talking about right now are, yeah, they're within 20 miles of the city of Lansing, but they ain't much in between those 20 miles.
No.
And there's not much in a 20-mile radius around them either. It's pretty forest.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
forest
and farmland.
Yep.
It's really all it is out in these places.
Well, yeah, and that's all it was. That's all it was, farmland.
Yeah.
So.
Was it on a farm? Did they have a farm too with it?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yep. Yeah.
Did it have a name? Did the farm have a name?
No.
All right.
Back then, they didn't really name farms like that.
How long have they owned it? Like how old?
I think the last name that was Rosenthal.
Huh.
Yep. German. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I didn't know that. That's wild. So yeah, we've done. This is actually the second. Well, no, technically, I have been to one concert this year, pre-pandemic, and 2 ghost hunts.
We're trying to get a third in. We're trying.
We are trying.
We're trying to strong arm and muscle the guy into letting us.
Yeah, this is a bit of a.
His family already paid one group to go in and investigate when we offered to do it for free, and it really kind of hurt my feelings. But I think we will prevail before the end of this year. That will get in there and get us some real evidence.
That would be amazing because because I mean, the last one that we did was, yes, a private residence, and yes, that is the first private residence you and I have done together. But this one that you're talking about now has a lot more evidence, stories. There's a lot more to it.
More stories.
Well, I would say evidence because we've seen evidence from it.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen evidence from the other place.
Yep.
Unless we have it and don't know it yet. But, but yeah, so this one's a little bit more, let's say, active. As we understand it, it's a bit more active. And the other one, too, the thing about the other one that we did earlier this year is it's owned by someone, of course, but it's a rental property. So it's constantly has tenants changing, whereas the one we're talking about now is not a permanent residence, but it's more of a permanent residence. It's a family-owned thing where family goes. And so there's a lot more like history, in that sense. There's a lot more reliable information, I feel.
Yeah.
From people staying there for extended periods of time and having experiences.
And the more interesting thing is just that the reason why they called anybody is that activities picked up. So
right,
that right there is what's activity picking up for?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on exactly? Which is another reason why.
Let's peel some carpet back. See what's drawn on the floors. Right. That is one thing I'll say about Stimson is that I'm surprised. Typically in a haunting. A lot of times, if a building has some sort of activity in it and you start renovating, that activity is going to start skyrocketing. A lot of the times. That's what we hear. I didn't feel that way with the Stimson. And it surprised me when we walked in and how... I can't wait to see it when it's complete and done.
It's going to be sick, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And I was just really kind of taken back. Really, Dr. Stimson's office is the only room in the whole place that looked like it belonged in a hospital.
Yeah.
And
that's
that
funny
really
that they're
surprised me.
going to turn that into a bedroom.
Dr. Stimson's office.
You'll be able to rent the Stimson office and stay the night and
I'd
sleep there.
I'd sleep in there.
I would probably sleep.
I'd sleep in all of them. The red room, the purple room.
The the red room upstairs felt just, I don't know. Like when you walk in, you look around with a flashlight. It looks eerie because it's in remodel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's construction.
Yeah, there's stuff everywhere, and the floors are bare and it's old plank wood floors,
and crimson burgundy red.
But it wasn't bad. No,
it wasn't bad.
It was comfortable. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It was honestly though. I'm kind of bummed I didn't spend more time in that room because I don't know, like that of the three up there, I felt like there might have been something in that one more than the other two. And the purple room, which was a former patient room where they would deliver a lot of babies, they would have patients in there, which is now, like I think he even said the most complete room so far. It's a bedroom. It's a straight up bedroom when you walk in there right now. But
which is weird to me because it's the furthest room from the kitchen they use.
True.
Well, there are two kitchens downstairs. There's the kitchen off the room when we came in, but then across from the museum was another kitchen.
Yes.
So, and that's right there at the top of the stairs from the bedroom. That's because that's what I was getting at. Was you'd think that they'd keep the bedroom close to the other room, that you know what I mean?
Right. But there's the third kitchen right off of Stimson's office too. Yeah. So there's three kitchens.
I don't know if that one was really a kitchen as much as just like a storage. It might have been a kitchen at one point that they took apart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
Like I really wish we could have seen the whole thing.
Yeah, because that's another weird part about what it was is that there's a section of the building that we did not have access to because it's currently occupied by tenants. However, because of the way the building is constructed, there is absolutely no noise pollution from one another. These walls, what did he say, like 2 feet of concrete and brick?
Yeah.
With a small
brick.
Yeah, with a small little like airway in between to even more cancel out sound. Like, so it's like extremely well insulated. Like you're not going to hear very much creaking, you know. He even said all the doors are oiled as fuck, so none of them should creak.
He was correct. I did not hear any doors creak.
Nope. Not even when we were opening them.
Did not hear any planks creak, no floor creak, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was some sounds, but nothing that made me do double take.
Right. I also did hear one time I think all 3 of us were in the purple room. And I walked out. We were kind of like getting up to like, I think, move or something.
Right.
And I walked out to the back in the room with the doll. And I heard something loud come from the hallway or the red room in that direction. And as I started to head that way, once again, I heard another like 2 tink, like 2 pieces of metal hitting themselves, but it was real close to me. And it was right as I was turning left to face the red room. There was the door right here that was open, and it came from behind the door. And I looked behind the door, and there was like chairs, like metal folding chairs stacked up. So if someone had really lightly went tink with one of those, that could have been it or something. But
there was a point when we all first went down to the boiler room as a group, and Jeremy was sitting in the doorway, and we're all sitting there. And like when we all first sat down and the lights were off, but there was that white noise thing going. I couldn't, like, maybe it was Jeremy's stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you heard a low growl?
Like, it sounded like I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to embarrass Jeremy because it almost sounded like maybe he was like trying to low fart or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
No.
But on the off chance that he was trying to like fucking slyly do some dumb shit like a Peter Griffin, like, you know, like talking while he's farting so that nobody hears him fart.
You know what? But you don't think that's what it was?
No, like what I don't know what it was. Like, I hate ghost boxes.
Spirit boxes,
Spirit boxes, whatever. They are so dumb. Like, we've got plenty of senses that we can use to do these types of things. Get rid of that. We don't want things that are gonna like deaden that sense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You don't want to block out sound. Something like a necrophonic works because it doesn't do that. Something like what's the other? It's like a spirit box, but it's more like echoey.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. It sounds like reverby and shit.
Yeah,
but
that one works, but like, pretty well.
Because the whole time, like when we, like, especially anytime you're going to do an investigation, the first thing, walk through and quietly just get a feel for the place. And I'm not even, you know what I mean? Don't even take any equipment. Just walk through it, look around it, and listen and hear, and you know what I'm saying? Because then that way, when the lights do go off, you already kind of have an idea in a layout of the land. Because if you walk through this place and you can't really pay attention, and you're just, when the lights do go out, now you're just going to be chasing shadows, figuratively and literally. So,
absolutely.
So like this, because when we first get into all these spots, I'm trying to listen, I'm trying to pay attention, and I think I'm having, you know, experiences, but I can't really tell because I have a machine going
so loud.
It's so loud, and just at some point I started feeling like I was getting dizzy, and getting angry, and I was just like, we gotta stop this box. I don't care. I'll throw this dude out the window. Charlie Murphy. I'm a Charlie Murphy. I'm out the window.
Yeah, it does. It did. That's the only.
Because there was twice then right there where I thought I heard something, but couldn't tell because of the box, and then didn't say anything because I'm not really sure what I heard.
Right.
So.
And that was that's the one thing. Yeah. I liked. Yeah, I did feel like maybe we spent a little too much time at the box.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
Now I've seen
split it.
I've seen the spirit box with headphones.
Yep.
And like they have one person who wears the headphones and listens to the spirit box, and he hears it and calls it out as he hears it.
Right.
That way it isn't destroying the ambiance.
That would work really well, actually, in that situation.
You couldn't pay me enough to sit there and listen
to
it,
that, right? Like, well, but like we went to like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 rooms with the spirit box. I think. I know we went to Stimson's.
At least 4 or 5.
Stimson's, Purple. We didn't go to Red. We didn't go to Doll. So 4. So Stimson's, Purple, Boiler, Morgue. So maybe do, spirit box on the first one and the third one.
Yep.
And not the middle 2.
Yeah.
Give it a break. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't even do the spirit box right away, and then let people, go do that on their own.
Yeah, well, I mean? but then how?
How what?
But then what do you use? You gotta have. You want to have. I get the want to have
digital
something.
Voice recorders and EMF detectors, and I don't give a damn, man. Throw a Ouija board in the boiler room.
Well, the other. The other spirit box-esque device we were talking about, because it's more like kind of sounding. It's real low and quiet, but when something comes through, it's really clear. Like yes, like because all you're hearing is this disembodied voice sounds, almost kind of creepy sounding, but then when something comes through, it's right there. I didn't like them at first. Now I kind of like them, but I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, I don't know because I get, if I'm putting on a tour, I would want to have something to have that live reaction, that real communication going back and forth. But at the same time, I almost feel like we got more communication going at certain points with the EMF detector than any other device we had going. Yeah. And especially with the digital one I had, the fact that it like went from green to red kind of gave it a little extra. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's definitely more sensitive.
Oh yeah, it has the settings, because of every, it's like 10-to-1 ratio of sensitivity to the K2 meter, something like that. When I have it on the other setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think there was enough. I had enough fun. They were really awesome enough people, and it was a really cool enough place to where, maybe we didn't. Nothing really nuts happened, but maybe it's just that nothing nuts happened yet, and we need to go back because enough stuff did happen to where I'm like, okay, and this is also the first time where we've had some of this equipment, and really, and honestly, dude, this might have been the first investigation where we utilized every piece of equipment. Like there's a couple like IR lights and stuff like that I never ended up using. We used all 3 cameras, we used all of our lights, we used all of our EMF detectors. Like we did a pretty good all of our voice recorders. Like we did a pretty good job in terms of utilizing all of our stuff for really the first time.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was warranted. I kept going back to the backpack to get something else because I was like, okay, I feel like this is gonna come in handy here. Like you know what I mean? That's kind of why, honestly.
We gotta look into why that camera is. I think the battery could be getting old.
Considering Jeremy said, well, as far as I can tell, I think Jeremy had only been filming for 20 minutes by the time it died on him. That part makes no sense. Having said that, that camera, that battery has always been wonky since the first day I bought it.
All right.
So
maybe we just need to look up buying a new battery.
Yeah. They probably got them at Batteries Plus.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it is, I mean, it is a good enough IR. Like, it does see in the dark really well.
Oh, really well.
Surprisingly well for how fucking cheap it was. Like,
well, that's
I got that shit on Amazon for like 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, something like that. I don't know. It was a few years ago.
Because even when we were at Randolph, the battery life on it wasn't what it should have been. Like, because I remember I used it for like 45 minutes or something.
Yeah. And to be honest, maybe either new battery or maybe just updated model time.
Yeah.
And maybe that model has a big... Because I noticed their cameras were basically the same thing, but they had a bigger pack that snapped onto the back of it. So maybe that's what the kind of thing I need to look for. Something that doesn't require one specific size. If you can get a pack and get one bigger, maybe it'll give it a little bit more. But I did notice one of theirs is from the... Damn it, I should have fucking used it and tried it out. Fuck! I wasn't thinking. I just wanted it on our shit. But I did notice one of them was from the Cleveland Paranormal Group. So and I have been to their website before, but maybe I'll check it out again and see what they got going on.
Right.
Maybe these places will have some sales coming up sometime soon. Because honestly, if it's a fucking $25 battery and a $40 camera, might as well just grab it. And that's what some of this stuff is, honestly. So
right.
But definitely we need to amp up that, because that's a lot better than the I think it's infrared. I think it's not a GoPro, but it looks like one. And I think that one records in like the purple. So whatever that is.
Full spectrum.
That one's not as good though like you can't see it really well in the pitch black. Like, or at all. Like, you still need some kind of light on, which is why I got those IR lights to hang on the side of it. Those help, but honestly,
heard that dude said he had.
What?
He said he had those IR tubes that like shot fucking IR light really far and long, so he could like light up entire long, huge hallways.
I have not heard of those before.
Yeah,
I'll have to look into that.
So he had 2 of them. That way, when they were like at the asylums and stuff,
right,
they could light up the entire hallway all the way down.
That would be really handy. I wonder how big they are and how do you mount them. I gotta look that up. That's interesting.
I always said those IR pucks would be cool, but
yeah.
I was looking at EMF pumps online today and $500.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Might as well just get a REM pod.
$500 and it runs on 3 AAA batteries. I was like, what are we doing?
Oh my god. That's awesome. Definitely. We definitely did good with our equipment. Learned a lot about the equipment last night. That was very useful. And that's where I felt we got a lot of our hits, was using not just fucking our equipment. And as a matter of fact, I was literally thinking about it earlier today. I was like, son of a bitch, at this point, really, to go ghost hunting, you need a portable battery charger, a brand new cell phone, a headlamp, a voice recorder, EMF detector. That's it. That's really it.
And a snorkel, a corkscrew, and an avocado.
If you got one of these new fucking phones with 3 fucking cameras on it in night mode that lights up the night, like, that shit's... if you're gonna have everybody's gonna have a phone. And if you're gonna have a phone like that, until you get to a certain point, I don't see a need for spending a few $100s or more than a few $100s on a really nice camera. You know what I mean? And then even when you do get to that point, I kind of like what really surprised me when I started watching some of the YouTube guys like CJ Fajan and fucking Jaskino, was how they just used regular cameras with really good lights. So everything was like looked normal. And so if something happened, it was like more obvious to your eyes. You know what I mean? It's not all in purple or all in black and white or all, you know what I mean? I really liked that. And what I discovered last night was walking around with the normal GoPro and having the white light on of the headlamp you got us looked just like their video. It shit lit those rooms up like a motherfucker, dude.
Right.
Even but I will say this, with the full spectrum GoPro, the green and red mode on the headlamp lit the room up really well. That was it. Then the white worked fine. They just made it look normal, but you could still see it really well in the green and red, whereas you couldn't in the normal GoPro. Yeah, it was too dark.
Yeah. I think that Google Nest is going to be a good camera setup.
Did you notice the Nest cameras they had?
Yeah. Yep.
They weren't called. What was funny to me is the word almost looked like Ovulus.
Yeah.
Ovulus or something. I was like, I wonder how good those are, because these people are ghost hunters. They got these things set up. Maybe they have like some of the best night vision. I don't know. That's what I'd look for.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is the night vision in the rear view cam in my car.
It's
fucking insane. I'm like, what? Like, you could see everything at night on that thing. It blows my mind.
Oh no.
It's really crazy to me that they just throw that and then. But yeah, it's kind of hard to find it that good on normal cameras, I guess, until now, where every new cell phone has some crazy ass night mode.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The new Pixel 5 recommended.
And then I don't even know which one it was, but the one our friend showed us at the bar, fucking, he had one of the new iPhones. I don't know which one, but I still have the two examples, the one on my phone and the one on your phone on my phone, like, to show the difference. It's crazy. It's wild what they're doing right now with that shit. And how Jeremy discovered that fucking like all like stable balancing and stuff. Oh my God. Yeah. And then now you discovered the audio stuff earlier tonight.
Yep.
We're this close to Bigfoot, dude. We are this close to the best Bigfoot footage we've ever seen.
I think we're just going to skip over trying to find Bigfoot and just start going into theory crafting what Bigfoot has as abilities. I think he has bulletproof skin.
Oh my God.
And can jump to the top of trees from the ground.
In a single bound.
Yep.
In a single bound.
I think that he understands his abilities and what he can do with them, and that's why he chose to stay in the woods and away from us, because he knows we're shitty. We're shitty people. So, yeah. That's my backstory. I'm giving that one. That's for Sam Squatch.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You haven't even seen it yet because it premieres in 45 minutes. The Lost in the Dark Halloween special, where we had special guest, the Sasquatchman. On he agreed to be our resident cryptozoologist for the show, so he will call back in the future. But yeah, man. So, all right.
You have to have us on sometime.
Oh yeah.
Debate some Sam Squatch stuff.
Oh my God. Yes. That is actually brilliant. But so okay. So I think honestly I can't really think of any experiences I had last night that I'm not remembering.
No.
Went over. Well, there was that one thing where I guess they did have like a medium come through, and now you are. I want to believe. All right. But in terms of mediums, I have never had any personal experience or witnessed anything that would make me believe that people have psychic ability, as much as I want to believe that some do. Just personally. So, having said that, they did say they had a medium. That's just my opinion. They did say they had a medium come through, and they said there was in the morgue section there was like this hole in the wall that leads to underneath the porch or whatever, and the medium called it a demon hole. They said don't go in there. There's something bad. And that's where we did have a very bizarre EMF experience.
I don't know about bizarre. I mean,
well,
just unexplainable at the moment because we can't get outside of that wall to find out what's there.
Right. There was essentially a square area of the wall below the demon hole. The EMF spike started up at the demon hole, and then as you go down, it gets greater, and then there's this particular square right down here where it was especially large, and then you obviously find the middle, and it goes crazy. Now it was also fluctuating. Like even if I held it over here or over here, very still, it would still fluctuate. It was never constant. That's kind of bizarre. But what's also weird is that it was the only thing there was a stone wall and brass copper piping. Water pipe. Is there any brass in this house? Can we get an EMF and see if it sets it off?
I don't think so.
Can we debunk? I don't know. But that's the thing is that it didn't spike necessarily when you went close to the pipes. It did when you went close to the wall.
Yeah.
And it's a stone wall with dirt on the other side as far as the owners know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's no way to really... And I don't know. I don't think it's paranormal. I don't think that EMF reading is paranormal. Like, there's so many things it could have been.
There is.
You know what I mean? But, like, how do they say... innocent until proven guilty.
And there were 3 EMF detectors. I have no reason
to think it's paranormal until it's paranormal.
100%. 100%. And yeah, that's the thing is 3 different EMF detectors were getting the exact same results on that. So it feels like there's a natural cause of some sort. Yeah. What it is, I don't know. No. But it was interesting for a minute. Yeah. Okay. I think that's the only one that were there any that happened to you that you haven't mentioned yet?
Nope.
All in all, go ahead.
Until we do more investigations there and hopefully, potentially in the future, get access to more areas of the residence. That's what I'm holding on for.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's my point. All in all, I think it was... I had a really fucking great time.
Yeah.
I cannot recommend it enough to people. I felt very fortunate that this was the first time we got to be there because, as they said last night, this will probably never happen again. Not because of they're going to stop doing tours, but because they always have other things going on, non-pandemic times.
Yeah.
During the Halloween weekend or time period to where like they don't think they'll ever, be able.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because they have so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, when it's exactly. Yeah. When it's non-pandemic time, Halloween's a busy weekend for them. But because of the pandemic, they had nothing to do than hold this event. And they didn't even sell all 10 spots. Like that's what.
Yeah, it was limited to 10 people. I couldn't.
Limited to 10 people, and only 7 people bought the tickets. And man, if you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, that was it. That was
they booked private investigations all week long, weekends. And they're really fun. They're really cool people. They will tell you they have a lot of great stories. They have been doing paranormal investigating for 16 years. So they know their shit. And yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back, and we hope to talk to them again. And maybe even I'll reach out and get them on the podcast. That would be
heck yeah.
That would be a great. I would love to talk to them because they were fantastic. And they provided a really great time for us, and in the year of us not being able to do jack shit, god damn it, that felt good. and for it to actually have been a lot of fun, and enough happened to where we're both like, yeah, we're gonna go back there.
Yep.
That was round 1. We're coming back for round 2.
Absolutely.
So, before we go though, let's just say, what would, to leave it with something spooky. It's Halloween night. Of all the you and I have now done, Jesus Christ, the Randolph Asylum, the Stimson Hospital, the Dundee Mill, Fort Wayne, Detroit, the USS Edson, one private residence. What else? What am I missing?
I think that's it.
That's it?
I think so.
So you and I have now done 6 pretty fucking big investigations.
Those are like real. We did that where we went around and just hit like little random spots. Remember we went to like the Bath School sighting.
Yep.
We went to
Bath
that
School
cemetery.
Bombing. Yep.
And then we went to Seven Gables.
Yep. That counts. That's 7.
Yep.
So we've really gone hard on some shit 7 times. Of those 7 times, what would you say was your most profound or frightening, or I don't think really anything frightening, but
the Dundee Mill is the favorite out of all of them so far.
So far?
Yep.
What reason? What was the one thing that really set that place apart for you?
Just the amount of activity.
Okay.
Even even if some of it felt subtle, like it's still like just the amount of stuff happening, from whether it was noises to lights turning on and off to objects moving. You know what I mean? Like there was a little bit of everything at the Dundee Mill.
Yeah.
And it never felt like that place never felt comfortable. Like, and when I say comfortable, like I never felt under attack or scared by any means. But I didn't want to sleep there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's how, like, yeah.
I honestly, of the ones you and I have done, I would say the 2 craziest things that happened was when we were in that gun silo at the Fort Wayne, and everybody asked the K2 meter questions, nothing happened, and I said, do you want us to leave? And it started spiking like crazy. Stopped. Are you mad that we're here? Spiking like crazy. Stopped. More people asked normal questions. Every time I asked a negative question, it would spike, and so they decided for all of us to leave. That was wild to me.
The cold spot there was the big one.
That was crazy.
Like that, like I, you always hear people talk about, like, oh, you feel this cold spot, and this, oh, it's a cold spot here, or oh, it moved. That was a cold spot where we literally measured it. And then you could put your hand in it, and follow it as it moved.
Yeah,
and it would literally that
was crazy.
That was probably, that was some paranormal right there. Like those fucking old gun silos. Stuff.
Yeah,
like, they're not even gun silos. It was a bunker.
It's where you like shot out of, right?
There were bunkers.
Yeah, no, it was just
bunkers,
like the round
end, like gun bunkers or something like that.
Yeah, like where they kept the ammo.
They kept the cannons and ammo. They had cannons on rails where they could swivel, and then there was a slit in the side of the bunker, and the cannon could like angle out of that. But then the cannon had doors on the front of it that would close, so nothing could shoot in.
Yeah.
And then when the cannon shot, the force of the cannonball would push the cannon back and open those doors to let the cannonball out, and then it shut back down.
Damn. That's crazy engineering.
That was like 1850s or something.
Yeah. That's wild. But honestly, the one fucking time I ever got real like shivers and goosebumps and everything on any investigation was, the Dundee Mill. Like, when I was on the complete other side of the room of everybody and started trying to play the piano like Peter Venkman in Ghostbusters, and then the Ovilus went off, and I heard a couple people go, like, kind of, like, I heard it go off. I didn't hear what it said, and then I heard a couple people go, huh? And then I shouted to you guys over there, I was on the complete, nobody saw what I was doing, and nobody could hear it either, because the Ovilus said broken, and the piano was broken, because nothing came out of the piano. Like, I was like, what did it say? You guys said broken. Like, it, like no one could see me, but like when I heard you someone say that, I went, like, I like tensed up, and like every hair on my body shot up. Like, it was fucking, that was trippy to me. That made me go, oh shit, we might need an Ovilus. Like, that thing might be legit. What? That was crazy. The odds. What are the odds? I mean, and it's obviously, like, I'm over there by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Unless, I don't know. Okay. Not even going to go down that road. Not even going to go down that road. But yeah. All right. All right, man. I think this was a good episode.
Yeah.
We can wrap this one up. All right. Yeah, I'll do an outro so we can just wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, and hopefully we're back on again before the end of the year with another investigation. That would be...
I'm working on it.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick. So, but even if we're not, as soon as things resume normality, hopefully in 2021, we will be getting back fucking to it. Because we still got some big locations that we want to hit. That we're going to hit. We have to hit.
Yeah.
We spend too much time on this shit already. We got to hit the fucking big ones, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people that have done less and are less into it than we are have gone to bigger locations than we have. We got to get some of these under our belt. So
we'll see.
Ooh, I'm excited.
2021.
I'm excited. But all right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a great Halloween. And as always, we'll be back again we'll be back again soon with more. Woo! It's Halloween. Let's get it started. All right. Good night. And there it is, everyone. You just witnessed it firsthand. Josh and I recording on Halloween night, the night after we investigated the Stimson Hospital on Devil's Night. On Devil's Night. Like, oh my God. I still can't get over that. And seriously, like, this event, you know, we did one private residence investigation back early January, and I went to one local show this year in early to mid-February, and that's been it. We haven't been to bars. We haven't been to restaurants. We've been locked the fuck down. So to go to an event like this, doing something that we love to do and having such an amazing time doing it, really was special and really meant a lot to us. Especially, like, we felt safe. There wasn't that many people there. We had the masks on. Like, the precautions were taken. And it just really meant the world to us to be able to get out and do this. It felt amazing, and it was an incredible time that we had. We would definitely be returning to the Stimson Hospital without question. And I do want to give a very special shout out to Chris and Pam Sturgill, the owners, the proprietors, the tour guides, the people that were there with us all night, that let us run about and do our thing in their residence. I can never thank them enough for having us out. That was an incredible experience. We will be back. And if you're seeing this right now, I don't know how many people watch to the end, so I kind of assume most don't. But if you're seeing this right now, I will definitely be contacting you in the future. I would fucking love to have you on the podcast. Both of you, Chris and Pam Sturgill. I would love to have you guys on the podcast. They are veteran paranormal investigators. They have done many different locations. And based on a few things that we talked about, I feel like there's a few other things I could get into them too, especially about music. So I would love to have them on the show. If you guys are seeing this right now, keep an eye out for an email coming soon from lostinthedarkpodcast@gmail.com. Because I would love to have you guys on the show. That would be really incredible. I'd love to pick your brains about the experiences that you have had. That'd be amazing. And of course, I mean, for Christ's sake, they gave me the ability to be in a fucking haunted morgue at 3 a.m. on Devil's Night. Like, to a lover of the paranormal, it's like a dream of mine come true. So that was fucking incredible. And the fact that I do feel like I had an experience. It's hard for me to say because I was using a piece of equipment that I am not sure about yet, called the Necrophonic app. Because it's an app, it bothers me. So I'm not sure how good it works or how it works. But I will say I've used it quite a few times and I've seen it used quite a few times. And what I was getting that night at 3 a.m. on Devil's Night in the morgue, this is a clip I intend to post 100%, because what I was getting on that thing, I've never heard that come through ever before or in anybody else's videos or anything. So that was pretty crazy to me. So that was amazing. And of course, I want to thank my brother Josh for being back on the show once again, going on this investigation with me, going on all the investigations we go on, and continuing to keep this hobby and to keep this passion alive with me, to have someone right there next to me that is just as into it as I am. It means the world to me. It means the world to me just as much as Aaron and Preston mean the world to me for keeping this podcast going. Like, this stuff is insane to me that I have these people in my life that have these same interests that I do, and that we connect so well, and we have these very long types of friendships and bonds. It just, man. So thank you so much again, man, for being on. If you're seeing this, yeah, I love every time I get to do an episode with you, and I can't wait to do more. So hopefully we get another investigation or something soon. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be about it for this one, everybody. 163, we're closing it out. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did doing it, and of course I want to give a shout out, as I do at the end of every episode. You know what? I need a list. I need a list. I don't have a list. I need a list. But I always need... That's going to be my homework for next time. But I always feel the need to shout out and give mention to any and all bands that have ever graced us with their presence, from Recorruptor to Bogwraith to Bravura, Interpreter, Casket Robbery, Victims of the System, A Suffocating Lie, A Fitting Revenge, Convalescence. Let me see if I got any more right here that I know I'm forgetting. I already said that. Reflection of Flash! Dipping Milk and Cookies podcast. Check that out. War! I'm pretty sure, if in case I didn't. Yeah! Yeah, any of those bands. Scream at the Sky, who's reached out to us. All these incredible... I really genuinely feel like I'm seeing the early stages of the next wave of heavy fucking metal here through these bands, and it really is special and amazing to me, and I just want to get their names out to everyone that I can, give them as much support. Everybody, Crypt Crew, go support these fucking bands, please, because they deserve it. They're incredible musicians, they're amazing people, and now more than ever, the bands that we love need our support. The artists that we love need our support. So please support these bands. It would mean the world to me, and them. You don't even know what a simple pre-save, a stream, a like, a share, get a t-shirt, a hard copy of a CD, download it, play it on Spotify, give them a like on YouTube, whatever. You have no idea what it means. You have no idea, unless you're a content creator, you have no idea what it means. It's the world. It's the world. Every time I see someone share this podcast, I'm like, holy shit. Like, whoa, I'm taken aback by it, especially if it's someone I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so it means the world to them. Trust me. It means I've talked to these guys. You can go back and check it. These are salt of the earth, real motherfuckers. And they're just trying to get their names out there. And it really does make a difference when people are like, hey, we like your shit. No matter who you are, it means the world. So be sure to check out and give love to all those bands, please. But yeah, that's going to be, my friends, that's going to be it for 163. I cannot, if you're still watching this right now, you are the hardest motherfucker ever. Thank you so much. Please comment below on what you want me to do with the paranormal footage. And you know what? As always, we'll be back again very, very soon. We got a lot more coming before the end of the year. Get ready for this Filthy 15. It's going to be a monster. But as always, until next time, my friends, raise your fucking horns and bang your heads. We love you all to death. Good night.